Hi guys, same day, different video. My switch from regular fiction to Christian fiction. For those people who used to follow my old works, which quite frankly I'm embarrassed by. Not that you follow me, but by the works I was putting out. For those of you that followed that one, you realize that there was very, very little mention of God versus something like More Than Pretty or Beyond Eyes or Bus Station. These two books are on two different ends of the spectrum. One is completely it's not basic, it's not insulting God. No, I could never do that in a book, but it doesn't talk about it a lot. Versus this one that actually talks about Christians. It's a story about two Christians doing regular things and trying to grow in the spirit. Okay, so they are two separate things on two different ends of the spectrum. These were between the years, I'm going to say 2013. This was between 2013 to about 2017, and this was 2018 and beyond. So, what happened between that period that caused that switch? That is the story I'm going to tell today. At the beginning of one of those years where I wrote Her and Just a Little Sugar, I had told my mom that I had written a book because she knew that I used to write books. So I had told her. And the thing is, my mom is a reader. She loves to read books. She reads a lot of books. So once you tell her that you have a book, she wants to read it. She would actually pay for books. Like she has paid for a lot of my books before they were even done, just so that she can be the first to read it. That's what she does. She likes to read books. So she had told me that I should send the book to her. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't send her to her. I couldn't send Just a Little Sugar to her. She just kept saying, "Oh, you didn't send the book to me. You didn't send the book to me." And I don't know, for some reason, I didn't explain anything to her. I just kept telling her, "Oh, okay, no problem. I'll send it," but I didn't send it. Sorry, Jesus. Um, Eventually, I had to, sit down and I had to sit down and analyze the reason for not sending it to her. In that year, God had already begun to deal with me about those books. So when I would write them, it would take me a long time to complete them. And every time I'll be asking God for inspiration, like, how am I going to complete this book? I need a certain level of inspiration to complete the book. And I would just feel like maybe I'm not supposed to be writing this book in the first place. I would quit for a while. I would quit for like 3 to 6 months, and then I'll come back and struggle to finish it, you know, and I'll feign excitement and all that. And at some point, I wondered why it was so, compared to More Than Pretty that I wrote legit in like 3 months, 2 to 3 months. I was done with that book. It didn't take me time at all. And I help me, Holy Spirit. Help me. Okay, so I remember just thinking about it and praying about it and just talking to God about it, because I wouldn't necessarily call it a prayer, but I was just talking to God about it. And I just remember feeling like, you are ashamed of me. Like, that was what God was telling me. You are ashamed of me. Why are you ashamed of me? And I always used the excuse of not everybody had to know that I was a Christian. Not everybody has to know that I take God seriously. Not everybody has to know that I am a believer. That's what I used to tell myself. I used to use it to console myself that not everybody is supposed to know. But then one day he told me that he gave me the gift, and that he gave me the gift for his pleasure. And slowly my thinking began to change. I started to, you know, gather the courage to be able to talk about my faith with people, write about my faith, because it's my lifestyle, it's the way I live, and my books are a reflection of who I am in a way. If the books don't show the lifestyle that I want people to read, I cannot be preaching abstinence until marriage and then be writing books about people who are having sex before marriage. It feels like a gross contradiction. I cannot be preaching certain things and then be writing things that go against the particular ideals that I profess. Nobody will take me seriously once they see my name on the book. I cannot write a book that completely allows a person to act a certain way without no recompense, without no consequence, without no act of, should I say, brokenness or, sorry, I was looking if there was still NEPA, without no act of brokenness or contriteness. That's what the Bible says, a contrite spirit, yes. So without no, they don't feel bad about it. They feel like it's a good thing that they are doing. And I'm writing those characters. I'm writing those characters and I'm feeling good about those characters and I'm putting that out there. I am helping to propagate the action or I'm helping to propagate the will of the devil. We live in a world that is divided into two. Believe it or not, you cannot be on the fence on earth. You're either for God or you are against God, right? So, if you're not actively trying to propagate the gospel with your gifts, then automatically you are helping the other side, right? Automatically you are helping the other side. There's no arm on the fence. The devil has a mandate, and there's also the mandate of God on this earth. If my book is not helping to propagate the gospel, if it's not helping to bring people closer to Christ, what is it doing? It's drawing them away from it. So, for instance, I'm trying to advise youth like myself to live a holy life, to live a sin-free life, and then I'm writing stories about somebody who is going out, coming back home drunk, womanizing, fornicating, adulterers, sleeping with people, stealing, gambling, killing people, murderers. Like Richard's father was a freaking murderer and nothing happened to him. I know that is like the if you want to say you're writing a book based on Nigeria as it is currently, you would actually say that a lot of murderers, especially in high places, they go unpunished. But fiction is meant to be a utopia of some sort, like where people actually see bad things. People actually see bad things happen to bad people because those are the consequences of their actions. So the right thing could have been to make this man, like Richard, his relationship with this person, if not do anything else, cause him to make a decision to change his character or his behavior, or his father facing for once in his life the wrath of the law, because fiction is meant to be a utopia of some sort, like I said. But none of those happened. We're glorifying it in the book, acting like it was okay, it was fun, it is nice. And I just saw that I was actively helping the devil. I mean, I couldn't even put Christian in my bio. Because it's not like I was ashamed. I don't like to think that I am ashamed. I just thought that not everybody has to know. Not everybody has to know. But the truth is, everybody has to know, because the other side, they are not quiet about what they believe in. They are not quiet. And once I began to realize that, I just decided that I'm going to be as noisy about it as I can. Because I wrote Beyond Eyes last year. I wrote Beyond Eyes last year and I sold it this year. And somebody was telling me, you're so brave to actually write about God in a place like this that is so wildly secular. But like, I don't care anymore. For some reason, the months that it took to build me up, build up that confidence to the point that I didn't really care what anybody has to say. If you like, you vex for me. No be you give me life, you no go come kill me. Okay, like, it feels like a denial of some sort of a part of me to not write like that, because it's who I am. I cannot be living the life and then I'm not going to go and tell other people that because if you think about it, when they tell you don't read certain books, don't watch certain movies, don't listen to certain songs, it's because of what they do inside you. So the book I am writing is not helping to help your spirit man to grow. Even if it is fiction is read for fun, but at least if you see somebody and you are familiar, you see somebody and the person has the same ideals with you, you begin to think that, okay, yes, there are more people like this in the world, you know? Like, it creates that mindset. It helps enhance the mindset that there's an abundance of souls, there's an abundance of God's sons and daughters on earth. So you don't feel like you're the only one once you see things like that in the media. So I feel like as Christians, we should be trying to take over the media, not trying to copy. Because I think that came from a place of, if I write Christian novels, nobody's going to read it. I don't even care at this point. If I don't read it. I just came to a point where I was like very, very proud of who I am in Christ. Enough that I wanted to just share it with people. Like, what was I doing before? It didn't make sense beforehand. As much as those are beautiful works of art, they are great stories, great storylines. It wasn't telling of who I am. It wasn't helping advance the kingdom that I belong to. I honor God with my lifestyle, and I would like to encourage people to see the benefits of honoring God with their lifestyle as well. So I felt like I should also honor God in the things that I do, because like I said earlier, He's the one that gave me this gift of writing. So if I don't use it to please Him, what exactly am I doing with my life? It's like Pastor Laju Iren always says, the only way that we can actually take over the media is if people begin to sponsor things, people begin to do things. You can't just keep quiet and be saying, oh, the devil is taking over social media. There's so many vulgar content out there. Do you know the amount of erotica that is out there? I was in a company that I recently resigned from of writers, and they were like, we need like 70 erotica writers. And I'm like, nope, this is definitely not the place for me. I clicked that almost immediately. It rubbed me the wrong way that there's a need for that, so many, and we're not doing anything. Us that have the ability to create content, we're not doing anything. At best, you are putting out things that look like you are on defense. So I don't really talk about God so much because this is not the place and the time. You keep saying that it is not the place and the time because I have personally said that before. That's not the place to show off, blah, 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 blah. But other people take every single opportunity to propagate the lifestyle that they are living, and you don't use every opportunity you have to propagate yours. Why? As creators who have the ability to create, I believe it is our duty to put out the type of content that we want to see. And that doesn't mean I'll be writing cliche stories, no. My characters will still have a lot of depth, they'll still have a lot of issues, and they will falter and they will make mistakes because that's what humans do. But in the book, there will also be a God to save them. There will be God, our Christ, to save them, because that is what He does. That is who He is, and that is who I serve. So my books from now on will reflect that. That's all I have to say.